Hey everybody, it's me, Nez. I'm delighted to share with you a mini series I was inspired to write back in 2017. It's called SENBAZURU. There's 7 parts to it. Enjoy. We're gonna be late, my fiance yells as he checks his watch. Shane has always been a stickler for punctuality. Having studied computer science at Berkeley, it was all about the accuracy of numbers, codes, and programming, things I know not much about. However, when he talked about robotics and artificial intelligence, that's when my attention was rapt. I rushed downstairs with my luggage, 2 small suitcases, and a handbag. Shane sighs. Honey, we are just going to be there for 2 weeks. What's with all the load? He meets me halfway up the stairs to help me. I laugh. You know, I just don't want to be stranded. He shakes his head. Seriously, you ladies. The cab driver throws Shane's suitcase and backpack in the trunk, along with my luggage. Hanging my purse on my shoulder, I turn around facing our entrance of the duplex. I reach for Shane's hand, and he knows just what to do. We begin to pray over our journey, that all would be well on the trip, and we would return safely in time for our wedding. Making a quick mental checklist, I make sure we have everything, including our passports. I exclaim, We're ready to go. While the cab zooms through traffic, I highly anticipate our business trip to Japan. At Berkeley, I double majored in journalism and Japanese studies. My love for writing and the Japanese culture influenced my degree choices. My inquisitive and investigative nature has always fueled my knack in journalism. Shane's trepidation was alleviated knowing I'm fluent in the Japanese language also. I sense he's a bit nervous and uncertain getting in touch with his roots. He is half Japanese, thanks to his father, who died when he was 6 years old. Growing up without a dad was difficult. It's like a part of him lay dormant and was yet to be revived. My Shane isn't taking this round trip as solely for work, but as a means to somehow connect with his father while in his fatherland. I'm sure it will be a surreal experience for him. Getting to San Francisco International Airport, we check in our luggage and head to the waiting area for Japan Airlines. We sit together until our zone number is called. How do you feel, baby? I ask, putting my head on Shane's shoulder as I interlock my fingers with his. His hand was a little sweaty. Um, I am okay. Just anxious, but excited at the same time. He smiles that adorable smile of his. I kiss him on the cheek. You are irresistible, you know that? He replies, Hey, that's what my mother used to tell me, and would land 2 whopping smooches on both my cheeks. Honey, I think you're missing one. And he leans his other cheek over towards my lips. I giggle and oblige. The check-in agent announces, Now calling Zone 3. Now calling Zone 3. That's us, I said. We enter the plane and locate our window and middle seats. We don't want to miss the beautiful aerial view of Tokyo, Japan as we land. With our carry-on luggage carefully stowed away in the overhead compartment, we buckled and ready for takeoff. We, buckled and ready for takeoff, snuggle ourselves into our seats. The flight attendants rehearse their safety instructions as the small TV monitors display the safety maneuvers. The hangar is folded away and the pushback tug vehicle navigates the plane out of the apron. The plane slowly taxis toward the runway where it begins to rev up its engine thrusters. I've always delighted in traveling by air. It's ethereal when you soar through the clouds and peer down at the ant-like structures below. It's like you're one with the blue sky and creatures of flight. Speeding down the runway, the plane finally lifts off and ascends. I look at Shane to find him staring out the window too. He smiles. I believe he is geared up for the venture in Japan. This 10-hour and 59-minute direct flight will be mostly spent on sleeping. However, Shane will definitely listen to some music, especially jazz, while I catch up on some new movie releases and TV shows. I do enjoy jazz. In fact, Shane proposed to me at a Japanese sushi restaurant slash jazz nightclub named Yoshi's in Oakland, California. I just thought it was just a date, a date night 22 minutes away from the Golden Gate City. But when we arrived and were escorted to a VIP section, I figured I was in for a treat. Having dated for 4 years since senior year at Berkeley, we developed a strong, loving friendship. Japanese dinner and a private jazz concert. What more can a girl ask for? Try your man getting on one knee with jazz players around your table serenading you. Of course, I shrieked in utter surprise and pure joy while tears streamed down my face. He popped the age old question, opening the indigo diamond ring jewelry case. As the dazzling engagement ring appeared before my eyes, it was like I heard Shane saying in slow motion, "Darling, will you marry me?" For a split second, I was tongue tied, but I managed to whisper a raspy, "Yes." "What was that?" he asked. I had to clear my throat and accept his proposal. I immediately leaned forward to hug him tightly. The rest of that evening was a dream, as Shane mounted the stage to play on the saxophone a number he composed in my honor, really putting that double major in music to fantastic use. "What are you thinking about that you were smiling like a silly schoolgirl?" Shane's word interrupted my flashback. "Oh, just about the night I got engaged," I replied. He had a smug look on his face as if to say, "Yeah, I was pretty awesome." I playfully pinched him. "Ow," he exclaimed. Then he beamed affectionately at me. The rest of the flight was smooth and relaxing. Cuttingly close to Shane, I began to close my sleepy eyes, and then, strangely, I spot a little Asian boy playing with a colorful origami paper crane. The boy steals a glance at me, bearing an open-toothed smile. His eyes seemed to pierce time and space as I instantly felt a premonition. The grin I gave the child starts to turn upside down while my consciousness drifts into the ever seductive dreamland. To be continued.